Graduating from New Deal and having 40 kids in my classes, you always felt like you had the backing of so many people. I knew everybody that I went to school with, and a lot of times you knew their siblings and their parents. It was just a real good sense of community. So my mom's my best friend, and my dad's kind of like my hero. He doesn't want me to struggle the way he did. And in college, he was raising a family and was going to school full-time and working full-time.
Taylor, being the oldest of four, was kind of a natural, mother figure early on. She always wanted to be taking care of the younger siblings.
I wanted to be a pediatrician for forever. I always knew I wanted to work with kids.
Thought pediatrics was a good fit for her. She, has always been top of her class. She actually finished second in class, salutatorian. Just felt like that would be a good fit for her.
He was so excited for me. There's going to be a doctor in the family. I was going to be a pediatrician. Senior year, and I had an appointment with my pediatrician, one of the last appointments, and I was asking her about the program and what she does on a daily basis, and I just realized this is not what I want to do. I want to be somebody in a kid's life. I want to be someone that they can come confide to, that they think of when they're excited, and not the person that you go see when you need medicine. My biggest fear is disappointing my parents. When I told him I wanted to be a teacher, you could tell that there was a little bit of like a, what? Like, why? And so, he was never upset about it or discouraged. It was just not what he thought I was gonna do with my life.
Yeah, we had some good conversation about that. Yeah, I made her think hard and long about it because there's a big, earnings difference between the two. And growing up as a child of two parents that were in the school system, money was always tight. For Taylor, it's never been about the money, which is great. It's about doing what she loves to do and what she's happy doing.
My grandfather, he reminds me of what you would think like a West Texas man is. He was really big into ranching. I remember I called him Coach Mac. Even in the classroom, I called him Coach Mac when I had him in 6th grade. He was really goofy, but he also expected a lot because he knew you were capable. He had very strong beliefs and values. He did not play last names. He did not play favorites. If you were the best person to be on the field, then you were on the field, and if you weren't, then you weren't. We would go out and sit on the sidelines and watch him coach, and then me and my little brother would go down there and we would shake hands with all the football boys. We didn't even go to that school, but we were Coach Mac's grandkids, and so we'd shake hands with the football boys and get all the field markers and the pile-ons and pray with the football boys, and we had my dad yelling from the stands and him almost getting ejected, and it was crazy. It was an awesome atmosphere to be around. He had cancer and he passed away about a year ago. He waited until the night before he died to call the school and say, hey, y'all are gonna have to find a replacement. And it was August, school was about to start. He was really held on. He was dead set on going back to school. When we went to his funeral, it's crazy to realize he was a grandfather to me, and of course he had an impact in my life, but he meant so much to all of these people. I have no idea who they are. Kids from who he had a year ago to kids he had 20 years ago. It was amazing to see how much he really impacted people.
What do you think you would have thought about Taylor being a teacher?
Oh, he would have loved that. Definitely she was already going to school at Tech for that, so he was very excited. They had good conversations about it in the past, about teaching in general. Yeah, they loved it. He would have loved to seen her in action like she is now in a classroom setting. They would probably have talked for hours every night about it, I'm sure.
So what was the second thing you told me, Ruben? Why? Why were you that? Being out in Slayton and doing my student teaching out there and listening to some of the other districts talk and superintendents talk to you about their needs, rural schools get looked over a lot. There's a lot of pride out in rural schools and what they're doing, and they may be low socioeconomic, but they're living and they're happy where they are, and it's a great family to be in. You're not in a school, you're really in a family.
It's just natural for her. There's no other thing for her to do than that. It's just natural. So just didn't know how it was going to play out, whether it was in education or in the medical field. You knew she wants to take care of somebody.
I feel like I'm doing way more than I ever would have accomplished going into med school and being a pediatrician, at least in the way that I want to impact kids. I feel like I've already accomplished so much with the students that I have that I'm just so excited to see what I can do with my own classroom in the future.